You're live.
Is that a was that a racquetball racket in that in
Probably.
that in the in that photo?
Most
That was
likely.
interesting. Yeah, all right. Anyways, everybody, what's poppin'? It's your host with the most, the Stat Daddy, coming back at you live from my parents' house. uh, Today I'm joined by Austin in the background. He's lurking in the shadows. I equated him to Batman last time. We'll equate him to the thug that murdered Batman's parents this time.
That's right.
Um,
I'm here forever in the background.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell fucking yeah. So, the last episode did pretty decent, so I thought I'd come back on. Try to do another one. We're just gonna get right into it, ladies and gents. And yes, ladies. There was a nice little split of viewership. Yo, real quick, shout out to the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. Y'all rock. Y'all were like 90% of my 90% of my viewership last episode. So shouts out to y'all. Whether it's Nello and Tristan's fam, maybe it was my old Kuya Josh's fam. I don't know who the fuck it was, but shouts out to you. You guys really showed up and showed out. So I appreciate that. But yeah, also maybe next time try to watch the video for a little longer. I'll try to add closed captions. It's okay. I'll work with you. But nah, anyways, all joking aside, we're gonna hop right into it. We'll talk about a little NBA in the beginning, just a couple little sprinkles of NBA news / Olympic roster news. Ooh, spoiler. I'm gonna, show off a couple card pickups again this week. I am so excited for the collectibles and card show. What's happening this weekend? Oh yeah. Very, very excited about that. Going down there with a few of my boss. So hopefully I can get rid of a bunch of this shit that's taking up space in my room. Anyways, first things first, we're gonna talk about good old Team USA. Okay. So Team USA just confirmed that Kawhi is going to be stepping down from the Olympic roster and focusing on getting healthy for the season. Wise choice, big man. Wise choice. They're replacing my boy. I don't even want to call him my boy. They're replacing Kawhi Leonard. Mr. Leonard, with Derek White, who I wish was my boy because he seems like a cool dude. Seems pretty cool. But yeah, it should have been like that from the start. I mean, Derek White was integral for the success of the Boston Celtics this postseason, as I said last time. So having him, Drew Holiday, and Tatum on the team, super, super helpful. He can kind of guard some wings, he kind of guard some wings pretty well, so that's pretty sick. Oddly enough, they're using Devin Booker more as an on-ball defender rather than an all-out scorer. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. But yeah, so interesting news. Should have been Derek White from the start. We all know Kawhi wasn't going to be healthy enough to lace him up, and even everyone's been making jokes online about how he looks so out of place in all the different videos and promos that they're doing. So shout out Kawhi, doing the right thing, stepping down, giving this spot up to someone who's a little healthier is gonna put in a little more, or can put in a little more of an effort since they are healthy. And yeah, so moving on from that one, we're going to talk about, hopefully you can't hear the dogs too much. We're going to talk about NBA free agency for just a couple minutes, just like 2 minutes. 2 minutes of your time is all we need, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, DeMar DeRozan shipped on out to Sacramento, California. You hear me? Pretty, I don't know. It's pretty cool, He's not going to be the main scorer. They're not going to make him shoulder the burden of, carrying a team like the Bulls did to him for 3 years. That poor man. But yeah, he's going to be alongside De'Aaron Fox, hopefully. I still don't know if De'Aaron Fox is confirmed that he's going to re-sign with the Kings. Austin, real quick, can you can you pull up like a Google search to see if De'Aaron Fox is decided or not on if he's going to re-sign with the Kings? Please and thank you. So yeah, De'Aaron Fox said they wanted the team to improve the Sacramento Kings roster if he were to resign with them, and I hope he resigns with them because I can't really see De'Aaron Fox in another jersey. That'd be that'd be weird. That'd be weird as hell. But yeah, it's gonna be him, Sabonis, good old Keegan Murray. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. He kind of fits. They did have to give up Harrison Barnes, who ended up going to the Spurs in the trade, I believe. So they're losing a little bit of the 3-point shooting, but you know, okay, so they're okay, cool. That's like about the same article about the same time I saw last. Okay, so there's no new updates. It looks all good. Thank you, Mr. Austin. I appreciate you fully. Okay, cool. So I wasn't talking on my ass. All right, sick. So yeah, I don't believe De'Aaron Fox is re-signed with them just yet. I hope they do. I hope they get that deal done because if not, the Kings are kind of fucked, and it kind of sad to always watch the Kings get fucked. I mean, they were super excited to make the playoffs a year or two ago, but I mean, that was what, like a 20-year drought that they were in before that. I'm sure Kings fans would like a little more than just getting there. Like it's like getting dropped off at the homecoming dance, you know, and then by your parents, and as soon as they drive off, you try to go inside, and they're like, "Sorry, we're all out of tickets and punch. Gotta walk home." Yeah, yeah. Sorry, just can't get back in and dance. Sorry, hey, that sucks. That was a bad analogy. I'm sorry. Oh, that was a poor analogy. But anyways, that's a little something that had happened. DeMar DeRozan. I get that is like kind of that is a big deal. As much as I'm going to play it off like it's not that big of a deal, it's a big deal. It is indeed. I guess I should probably have had this pulled up in front of me beforehand. That's not. Oh, there it is. There's two more. There's two more moves that I can recall that I was like, huh, those are pretty interesting. Oh yeah, the Hornets. Hornets signed Miles Bridges too. Oh, there you are. Hornets are signing Miles Bridges to a 3-year, $75 million deal. I mean, I think the Hornets are having a very, very underrated offseason so far. Just a great pickup. They're also able to waive Devontae Graham, Davis Bertans, uh, Alexei Pokoshevsky. Sorry. And then I think Bryce McGowan's was the other guy's name. I can't remember, but that was pretty sick, pretty good. Yeah, they're just clearing up cap, getting rid of all the filler. I like their offseason so far. I also really like the Pistons signing Malik Beasley and Simeon Fontecchio to 1 and 2 year deals. I think Malik Beasley, what does it say here? I can actually just look it up. $6 million from Malik. Fontecchio is getting 16 mil over 2 years. Pretty sick. The Magic re-signed Franz Wagner, a 5-year, 224. That's pretty big as well. And there was one more trade that how could I forget? How could I forget? The Warriors went ahead, got rid of Klay Thompson, as we know. Didn't want to re-sign him. He goes to the Mavs. Everyone's like, damn, the Splash Brothers. It's over. No more Splash Brothers. Well, guess what, fellas? Guess what? You got the Splash Buddies now. Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's going to be y'all's number 2 out there in the Bay. Steph Curry, Buddy Hield, the Splash Buddies. Come on, guys. Splash Buddies. That's great. I only wanted to talk about that move just because it's fun to say Splash Buddies, especially coming from something that was cool like Splash Bros, No? Fuck it, whatever. Who cares? Who even gives a fuck anymore? All right. But yeah, so that was my NBA little spiel. Just wanted to get that over in the first 10 minutes. So I could talk about my cards for 2 minutes, and then we can go into some fantasy football. What? I know. Fantasy football, the Stat Daddy's bread and butter, some would say. Even though, in my personal opinion, that is NBA knowledge. But that's neither here nor there. Let me very quickly and autistically show you my trading cards. So here we got this really goofy. Look at this shit. Look at how goofy this Marcus Smart card is. This cracks me up. Look how dirty is that DeAndre Hunter. Yeah, DeAndre Hunter. Dude, what the fuck? This card's so fucking weird. Love that. Love that. Gonna run right through. Alperen Şengün out of 25. Brushstroke signature. We got one of the premier Caucasian players in the NBA. TJ McConnell. Reports indicate that he does indeed have that dog in him. Damn, that was so corny to say. But yeah, that one's a gold out of 10. We got Hoes calling a young brother bone. Where's Ali with the motherfucking Mo Bamba? Yeah, cool little signature card. I think this one's out of 10 as well. Gold. Yo, if I ever meet Dan Soder in real life, probably never happen. But if I ever were to run into Dan Soder or be in a place where I could potentially run into Dan Soder, got him a cool David Thompson, gold to 10, award-winning signatures. I believe was this from his celebrating his rookie year. Yeah, this is the year before the ABA and the NBA merged, I believe, too. Pretty sick. So, Mr. Dan Soder, if you're watching, this one's for you, buddy. I know you got your Alex English rookie cards. I already know you got your this, that, and the other. I'm just trying to help out in whatever way I can. Next up, we got a cool. Oop, this one might slip out. That's what she said. This one is going to be our Cameron Johnson rookie patch auto to 25. I ordered this card so long ago, and I ended up getting a dumbass fucking Josh Green. Yeah, Josh Green, downtown. It was like the second worst downtown besides Henry Ruggs football downtown. Ugh. So, yeah, obviously had to remedy that. Here we got a really gross fucking case for this. Jesus Christ, who fucking crusted on this one? We got a cool little Kevin Durant OKC patch, followed by a nice little numbered Kevin Durant Immaculate Warriors card. I just want, Kevin Durant, bro. Y'all. Oh fuck. Oh, 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 y'all see it. This one's a little guilty pleasure, even though he kind of fucked us in the playoffs. You already know I had to get that Royce O'Neal gold patch out of 10. Shouts out the Immaculate Collection. It's so funny because these boxes for Immaculate go for upwards of $1,000, even more. And people will get just 10 ass cards like this. And they end up selling them on eBay for $20 a piece. That's fucking crazy. Last but not least, the undersized center who could. People didn't think he could get it done. Well, he did. Multiple times over. Respect Al Horford, baby. Respect Al Horford on the fast break. Mosaic fast break out of 10 as well. 10 of 10, a bookend, if you will. Oh, I almost forgot. There's one more. This one also is just kind of like a guilty pleasure. Like, what the fuck? Why is that a card? I don't know, but obviously I got it. 2016-17 Panini Immaculate Collegiate. Kevin Durant and Miles Turner out of, what is that, 25? Out of 25. Miles Turner has always cracked me up ever since he's been in the league. Baller, but really goofy dude. Talking about building Legos and shit. Everyone was making fun of him a couple years ago. That shit was funny as fuck. And obviously it's Kevin Durant at Texas, so can't hate. But yeah, those are going to be the pickups of the week because I still don't have a pack of cards because fucking too lazy to go down to the local card store. And honestly, I just have so many cards coming in that at all different times every day just because I went ham a month ago and bought a fuck ton from China and Japan and shit. And you're just now shipping. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We're going to go ahead and get into some fantasy foosball. Should we start with players, underrated players or overrated players? All right, this is what we're going to do. Since I don't know what I'm looking for per se, I'm just going to try to figure it out myself. Austin, I know you're here to help, but all right, Austin, here we'll let you look for it because it's gonna look annoying. Just me being like, oh. Do you mind looking up fantasy football half PPR rankings for 2024? Preferably off of Fantasy Pros or Underdog Fantasy. Fantasy Pros or Underdog Fantasy. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Be greatly appreciated. You feel me? Yeah. So while we sit and wait in anticipation while Austin pulls that up, what's popping with you guys? What's going on, everybody? I'm clicking away so I can go ahead and check my. No, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. Thank you, Austin. You're a fucking saint. Do you mind going over to the This is half PPR. That's perfect. All right, cool. Do you mind just scrolling down so I can see players 1 through, let's say, 1 through 12? That's perfect right there, actually, as is. Yes, sir. That's A-okay, brother, man. All right, so we're going to be talking half PPR. Preferably, you'd be in a super flex league, but if you're not in a super flex league, you're a regular human being who just likes having regular fun instead of a lot of fun. Fuck it, we'll talk. We'll speak to you because I know not everyone's in a super flex. Not everyone has, the wherewithal to deal with quarterback injuries and quarterbacks actually being, valued at any point. But anyways, so if we were going for that, I'll just say that if we were going off of super flex quarterbacks, so many overrated players. Biggest one for me, Justin Herbert. I know we're not looking at that right now, but just hear me out for like 30 seconds. Justin Herbert lost all of his weapons. He's got Quentin Johnston, what's Lad McConkey, who two decent players, you know what I mean? But then you got what is it Harbaugh? They got Harbaugh back down there in San Diego. Or no, I'm sorry, it's Los Angeles, right? You guys are the Los Angeles Chargers now. Fucking frauds. But yeah, crazy. It's gonna be heavy run first offense. They brought in the Ravens running backs of J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, I believe. It's gonna be a freaking shit show. If you're in Superflex, do not take if you're in fantasy football this year, do not take Justin Herbert. Too risky. He could end up being the quarterback 1 this year. Still won't feel bad not drafting him. It's just everything is stacked against him. The odds are ever not in his fucking favor. Austin, do you actually mind just linking me this article so I can scroll as well? I just realized it might be easier for me to scroll. I'd feel bad to start getting frustrated. But let's see. Just based off what Austin has shared up here real quick, we can go ahead. Oh, nope. Alrighty. I'm going to put that over her real quick. I like it how you do it right there. All right, so it's my turn to present, right? Share screen. For some reason, I got to do that, and then got to come back in. Perfection. Share. I bet y'all can see this all nice and pretty, can't you? I hope you can at least. All right, cool. So we'll say the first 13 picks, most overrated pick. Worst pick you can make in fantasy foosball right now, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, is none of these guys. What? I know. People say you lose your fantasy football drafts in the first round. It's not. I really don't fucking believe that. I mean, all these players are going to be fantastic, minus some sort of injury. You know what I'm saying? But there's definitely better options than others. For example, I think sound crazy. I think CeeDee Lamb should be the number one pick off the board. I think CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys, as crazy as that sounds, with as shitty as Dak Prescott is, I think CeeDee Lamb should be the first player off the board. Probably sounded nasty. The reason why I think CeeDee Lamb should be the first player off the board, well, there's a couple reasons why I think CeeDee Lamb should be the first player off the board. Let me go ahead and pull some numbers up real quick. Okay. So as far as we'll go total yards from the slot, because CeeDee Lamb usually plays out the slot. Well, he moves around in the field. You know what I mean. CeeDee Lamb had 907 yards from the slot last season. Amon-Ra St. Brown had about 750, I believe. The next closest players, I believe, were like Evan Ingram and like what's that fucking Jaden Reed with like 600 something. So St. Brown's just like above them in that tier when it comes to running out the slot, and then CeeDee Lamb's even above St. Brown, right? Two elite ballers. So in my opinion, CeeDee Lamb should be the first pick off the board. Zach, why are you not saying Amon-Ra St. Brown? There's a very good reason why I'm not saying Amon-Ra St. Brown. You should still draft him in the first round if you can. I like him more than Justin Jefferson this season just because I'm so nervous about the quarterback play. Even though I know Justin Jefferson's quarterback proof, all that jazz, it's gonna get weird. It's gonna get funky with the Vikings this season. I rather just take somebody else. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill, baller, put up what, like almost 1,800 yards last season. Baller, I get it. I just think that the Cowboys run more plays. Like there's a higher volume there for the Cowboys, right? There's a higher volume with the Cowboys. Now with the Lions and Amon-Ra St. Brown is still gonna eat. He's still gonna ball out. He's pretty safe from the regression. The rest of the team is gonna face heavy regression. Their defense supposedly has gotten so much better in this offseason alone, right? So much better. And if you remember last season, the Lions were in a lot of close games with a lot of points, and they were shootouts. It was just scoring back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. With the better defense that they supposedly have this season, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. They're gonna get more stops on defense. They're gonna grind out the other team's offense a little more. It's not going to be as frequent that they're on the field, the offense, right? With that being said, Amon-Ra St. Brown's still a first-round pick. He still deserves to be in that tier 1 of fantasy football players. Out of everyone in the top 8, like you can't get mad at any of those decisions, any of those picks. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb should be number 1 off the board, and Amon-Ra St. Brown should be the next wide receiver besides Tyreek and Jamar. Like if you get any of those 4, I believe you're set. I believe you're set for the season. Okay. I won't go too much into Bijan and Brees, and Christian McCaffrey, and all those guys, because I want to talk about something that's not really like gross, but still like gross enough to where it's a problem. It's for sure a problem. Does this change and help my argument because I have no integrity as a journalist? If I change it to PPR, does this change some things? Not really. We'll go back to half PPR. We'll stick with what we were working with initially. All right. Second round pick. It doesn't show him as a second round pick right here. Well, I guess it kind of just second, like end of second round, early third. Sam Laporta and even Travis Kelce, disgusting picks. Do not fucking pick them in the second round, third round. Don't do it. The value's not there. It is not worth it. What I just said about the Lions rings true with Sam Laporta. He broke off a lot of shit. He broke off a lot of crazy plays. Did very, very well last season. I mean, extraordinarily well, especially for a rookie tight end. Not really feeling second, third round, capital for a tight end this season. I'm honestly not taking a tight end until the first 6 to 8 of them are off the board. Like the value just isn't there currently. The one tight end I will give to somebody, the one that I would be tempted to draft before the first 6, 7 rounds is maybe Mark Andrews if I can get him for a good price. But besides that, I'd just steer clear, avoid at all costs. But yeah, going back to it real quick though, because I'm getting way too fucking sidetracked. CeeDee Lamb and St. Brown are just so much better than everybody else. I just need to keep reiterating that. I have a bunch of numbers here. I don't want to bore you too much. I could tell you that first downs per route run from the slot, CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra were tied with 1.27.6. I think it was. You're like, what the fuck? Or what does that even mean? Not point. It was what? Yeah, 0.128 for Lamb. We'll just round up, and 0.1276 for Brown. We can go into yards per route run, which was St. Brown was 2.24. CeeDee Lamb was 2.48. The only players higher was Tyreek Hill with 3.14. I believe actually Rashid Rice was in that conversation too, tied with St. Brown. But yeah, I just had to get those numbers off because I am the stat daddy and I end up rambling pretty frequently. So yeah, there's that about those fellers. Just had to get that off my chest. Didn't want to, ruin my reputation as a stat daddy. So there's that. A lot of people are asking me, Zach, who are some sleepers? Who are some players that I can get in the later rounds that will give me the return of a running back or wide receiver 2 or different things like that? Well, just because this is an unofficial little fantasy football, just getting right back into it session. I literally only spent 2 days looking at fantasy football shit just because a couple comments were saying they wanted to see some fantasy football. A couple coworkers were like, yo, what's good with fantasy? Here we are. Here we are now, just going into this raw. So right off the bat, some shit that I don't like fucking seeing one goddamn big is Mike Evans at wide receiver 12. That shouldn't be there. Drake London is probably going to pop off and have a breakout season with Kirk Cousins if Curdy stays healthy. Dude, we are passing on Travis Kelce. We are passing on DJ Moore. That DJ Moore take might be crazy come end of the season, but I rather if you're a big Caleb Williams believer, I rather you just take Caleb Williams rather than wasting a high value pick on DJ Moore with your first 2-3 picks. You know what I mean? Especially whenever you can take a huge swing on a Devon Achane, which even then I wouldn't necessarily recommend. He could be a bust. My Dolphins obviously drafted him to be a specialty player. And so don't expect him to get a crazy workload, especially when Raheem Mostert. What did Raheem Mostert do? Didn't he put up like fucking 21 touchdowns? I think Raheem Mostert put up 21 touchdowns last season. Austin, can you check? Can you type in the chat how many touchdowns Raheem Mostert had last season? I'll circle back to that in like 30 seconds. You type that in, Raheem Mostert touchdowns. I think it was something stupid like 2021. So you're going to tell me that Raheem Mostert, even if he gets half of the touchdowns he had last season, that's still a lot. He's like eaten into his share. You know what I mean? If Achane somehow were to take that goal line role from Mostert, oh, you're so happy you drafted him. But, I'm just getting nervous about all these committees this season. That's why I'm like kind of nervous about Jameer. That's neither here nor there. I'm really fucking with DK Metcalf as wide receiver 20 off the board. A lot of people may be nervous about that pick, but I'm more than happy to take DK, who could put up wide receiver 1 numbers for the price of a wide receiver or not, just like your 3rd, 4th round pick. Rachaad White, I mean, in theory, he should be a baller. He is a baller, but I'm just so nervous about, just how they're going to end up using him. If they're going to run him into the ground, if he's going to get hurt, what the fuck's happening. Anyways, We're just gonna keep scrolling because I'm trying to get down to some brass tacks, right? I'm trying to get down to some quote unquote sleepers that everyone loves to talk about. I know Rashid Rice is a bad person, right? More allegedly a bad person. He allegedly assaulted someone or, hit and run at a high speed, may result in suspension. That may be hearsay, may not. But dude, during the playoffs, especially, he kind of started to blossom, and he was right there in all those different statistical categories that Amon Ra and CD were in. So I'd be kind of high on Rice if y'all can possibly get him. Like I said, I think first downs per route run, he was like 0.128 or something like that, 126. Let's see this one. Yards per route run from the slot, 2.28. I mean, just slightly above Amon Ra. He's like number one on most of these, not number one, but he's top five in most of these categories. Him and oddly enough, Khalil Shakir, is it? I think that's his name, Khalil Shakir. Yeah, but let's go back. All right, I guess we'll just find Mostert eventually. Brian Robinson for the Washington Commanders. I know if they just picked up what's his name, Austin Eckler. He's gonna have to, right here, fight for passing down snaps and all that. Shouts out Derek Brown for the super crazy detective work to figure out that he and Austin Eckler are gonna have to fight for the passing down snaps. But yeah, sincerely, like he did show. What does it say right here? He quietly displayed a 3-down skill set last season. It's freaking true. Having the threat of Jalen McDaniels as in the running stretches to the sidelines also helps him out tremendously. I think, what was it? I think I have some numbers written down here. I think, Cliff Kingsbury's offense, offense was, what is it, offense or run offense? Was top 10 in rush yards and rush touchdowns in 3 of his 4 years as the Cardinals play caller. Yep, and goal line work and early down work is probably going to that man Brian Robinson Jr. I was big on him last season, worked out tremendously because you got him at a crazy discount. Still big on him this season. Brian Robinson Jr. Crazy that you can get him, like 6th round, 7th round if you're in a 12-man league. Another guy that's down here that people forget about, Tua Tagovailoa, or Tua turned the ball over, depending on who you talk to. Tua, balled out last season. It kind of slowed down, especially after the injury, where you're like, oh, damn, I don't want my quarterback putting up 9.1, 9.6, 1650. You're like, those are horrible numbers. Dude, if Tua can stay healthy and they improve his protection, he's going to be balling the fuck out like no other. I'm telling you, especially if you're in a 2-quarterback league, if you can somehow get Tua as your QB2, you're locked in and rocking for the whole season. You're not going to be disappointed one little bit. Are there any other players I have to talk about? Let's see. Let's see. Third, I got people that worst picks in each of the first 5 fantasy football rounds this year. I know it's kind of tough and rough to say worst picks because obviously I could be eating my words at the end of the season. But getting Josh Jacobs on Green Bay, not necessarily what you're wanting. He was supposed to be in a committee with Aaron Jones, and then they've let Aaron Jones leave, and they're still like, nah, he's gonna be in a committee. So not feeling that pick in the 3rd, 4th round. Not really feeling, like I said, that DJ Moore pick. There's just so many mouths now there, and we don't even know how Caleb Williams is going to turn out necessarily. Yes, he looks all the way down here, Caleb Williams. Yeah, I don't. He like people think he's going to be the CJ Stroud of this year. He's not going to be CJ Stroud of this year. That's just not a thing. CJ Stroud was undeniable last season, and I think he's even a little overrated this season, just with how high people are taking him. But just looking through the rest of these names, nothing really too crazy. I think in round 5, everybody taking Evan Ingram, once again, a tight end in round 5 is just kind of fucking gross. I'm not a big fan of that shit at all. Trey McBride, I like it. I like it. I like it. But I think that's about it. I know this wasn't the most well put together episode I've ever had, but just getting back into things. Just getting back into things. I thought I would show, or at least talk about a little fantasy football, kind of show y'all me getting back into it. Really haven't been paying too much attention at all this off season. Besides my sweet Brandon Ayuk trying to force his way from, not even force his way, just get the money he thinks he deserves. Um, I see he wants he deserves Amon Ra money. I won't even lie. Has he been playing up to an Amon Ra level? I think so. Is his quarterback capable of having him ascend even further? I don't know. There's a lot of mouths to feed. Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. They got a lot going on. They got Ricky Purcell, Ricky. They got Slick Rick. Okay, they got Slick Rick. He's just another mouth to feed. Baller, by the way, baller, deservedly so. He needs to be fed. It's just somebody's going to end up being the odd man out. I don't think it's going to be Ayuk by any means. I think he will end up re-signing with the 49ers, but if he doesn't, he's going to go show everyone what the fuck is up somewhere else. The one thing I will say is it is a little strange. It is very odd that he's vlogging the whole shit, putting all of his business out there. I don't like that shit one bit, but it's kind of like I see these players their bodies will work on the field kind of like similar to a musician's like album or like song, where like you can appreciate the work but don't necessarily have to like every single aspect of the person who put that work out, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, this was fun. Talked about, like I said, Kawhi dropping out for Derek White, which I thought should have been the case from the freaking start. Talked about a couple free agency things. Got the Splash Buddies down there in the Bay now. Got what's his face, DeMar DeRozan in Sacramento. Who knows if De'Aaron Fox is still going to resign or not. Miles Bridges signing 3 more years with the Hornets is fucking huge. Him, Brandon Miller. I mean, dude, it's going to be a crazy tandem with LaMelo Ball hopefully healthy. It's going to be interesting down there in Charlotte for sure. I think they're going to not outperform. I think they're still going to be bad this season, but we're going to see some steady improvements. Same with the Pistons. I think there's going to be steady improvements. Do I think they're going to lose 31 games in a row this season? No. Can I see them losing 15? Yeah, still yeah. Unfortunately, they need some cohesion. And then fantasy football. Don't fall trap to the early round tight ends like we've come accustomed to the last couple seasons. Don't fall for running back scarcity. I need. We saw last season and even the season before we're starting to shift to running back committees more and more frequently. If you don't get like one of those top 3 guys, McCaffrey, Brees, Bijan, you're probably not going to get a workhorse. Most likely, you're most likely not going to get a workhorse unless there is some sort of devastating injury to a player who's in a committee. CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rashid Rice, Khalil Shakir, like on a small scale, and even Chris Godwin and Chris Olave. Chris and Chris are also going to be playing way more in the slot this season. Don't underrate the slot receivers. Do not underrate these slot receivers. Okay, I know it's like how do you underrate CeeDee Lamb? He's ranked the 2nd player off the board for regular redraft, non-super flex leagues. Take him if you can. Okay, this dude is about to go nuclear, even with the shit that Dak Prescott presents. So get your guys. Shit. Oh yeah, and don't fall for the hype of the Chicago Bears. Don't do it. They could be amazing. They could be the best team in the NFL next season. I still wouldn't care. Still wouldn't feel bad about it. Do what you can. play it safe. Not enough people play it safe. Take swings early and then play it safe in the later rounds. Don't take DJ Moore. Don't take Josh Jacobs because 2 years ago he led the league in rushing. Running backs come and go with the wind. But yeah, that's about it. If you enjoy the content, make sure you go ahead and do all that corny YouTuber shit. Like, subscribe. Just hit the like button right now if you're still here. Just do it real quick. Make sure you go check out my boy Austin's channel at Borderland Studios. Make sure you go stream my cousin Willay's music at Willay LV, I believe it is. Go get him a couple cents. Yeah. Oh, I'm coming very soon. I guess you can call it Nah, I don't even want to say that. Podcast with Bill's just shooting the shit coming very, very soon. Stay on the lookout for that. But yeah, until next time, peace, love. Goodbye.